Welcome to TT-Buddhism, a channel dedicated to sharing the wisdom of Buddhism through inspiring stories and insightful teachings. Today, we explore a question that has fascinated humanity for centuries. Where do we come from? Religions, philosophies, and scientific theories have all attempted to provide answers. Some believe in a divine creation, while others turn to evolutionary biology. However, Buddhism approaches this question in a unique way, not by speculating about a singular beginning, but by examining the continuous cycle of existence shaped by causes and conditions. Unlike many traditions that seek a definitive origin of life, Buddhist teachings emphasize the impermanence of all things. Instead of a fixed starting point, life arises and changes based on interconnected causes. The Buddha taught that debating the absolute beginning of the universe is like a man struck by a poisoned arrow, who refuses treatment until he knows who shot it, what type of wood the arrow is made from, and where it was crafted. His teachings focus not on distant origins, but on understanding suffering, its causes, and the path to liberation. By exploring the Buddhist perspective on human existence, we gain a deeper appreciation of life's impermanence, the cycle of rebirth, and the role of our actions in shaping our future. This video will take you through the Buddhist understanding of time, the emergence of human life, and the formation of societies, while drawing parallels with modern scientific discoveries. Stay with us as we uncover profound insights that transcend time and tradition, helping us understand not just where we come from, but how to live meaningfully in the present. If you find this topic intriguing, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to TT-Buddhism to continue this journey of wisdom and self-discovery. The Buddhist view on time and the universe. In Buddhism, time is not seen as having a fixed beginning or end. Unlike some religious traditions that describe a moment of creation, Buddhist teachings suggest that the universe has always existed in an ongoing cycle of formation, transformation, and dissolution. The idea of a single starting point is considered irrelevant because everything arises due to causes and conditions. Instead of looking for an ultimate origin, Buddhism encourages us to understand the nature of existence itself and how it continuously unfolds. The Buddha spoke of the universe as going through vast cycles of expansion and contraction. Just as seasons change, so too does the universe, evolving over unimaginable periods. This concept closely resembles modern scientific theories such as the Big Bang and Big Crunch, which describe how the universe expands and may eventually contract before restarting another cycle. According to Buddhist thought, when one universe fades, another emerges, and this cycle has no discernible beginning. Beyond the physical universe, Buddhist cosmology also suggests that there are countless worlds, each going through its own cycle of creation and destruction. The Buddha described multiple realms of existence, from higher spiritual planes to lower suffering-filled states, emphasizing that no world or being remains static. Everything is subject to impermanence, which means that nothing lasts forever. Neither civilizations nor galaxies. This understanding shifts the focus from asking, "Where did we come from?" to a more practical question. What are we doing with this life we have now? Another key teaching in Buddhism is that the universe is governed by natural laws, not by a supreme creator. The causes and effects that shape existence are based on the interconnectedness of all things. Just as a seed grows into a tree under the right conditions, everything in the universe follows patterns of cause and effect. Our own existence is not separate from this principle. Our past actions shape our present, and our current actions shape the future. By understanding this cyclical nature of time and the vastness of existence, we gain a broader perspective on life. Instead of being preoccupied with finding a singular point of origin, Buddhism encourages us to focus on the present moment, recognizing how our choices influence the continuous flow of life. This perspective helps us cultivate wisdom, detachment, and a deeper appreciation for the impermanent nature of all things. The emergence of human life in Buddhist thought. According to Buddhist teachings, human life did not appear in its current form from the very beginning. Instead of a sudden creation event, Buddhism describes a gradual transformation of beings over time, shaped by natural conditions and their own actions. Initially, life was not bound by physical limitations. The earliest beings were described as radiant, free-moving, and not dependent on material sustenance. They lived in harmony with their surroundings, untouched by the struggles of physical existence. Over time, as the environment changed, these beings became more engaged with the material world. As they started consuming elements from the earth, their forms began to shift. They lost their luminous nature and gradually developed solid physical bodies. With these changes came greater distinctions between individuals, leading to variations in appearance, abilities, and personal characteristics. The development of physicality also introduced a new way of continuing existence, biological reproduction, replacing the earlier, more subtle form of rebirth. This process of transformation reflects the Buddhist principle that nothing remains the same. Everything, including human existence, is shaped by cause and effect. The shift from non-material to material forms happened due to attachment and craving. As beings became more drawn to sensory experiences, their connection to the physical world deepened, leading to increased desires, competition, and eventually suffering. This marked the beginning of human struggles, as attachment to material things led to conflicts over resources, social divisions, and the rise of personal identity. As humans became more dependent on physical sustenance, the natural abundance that once existed began to diminish. Beings who previously lived effortlessly now had to cultivate food, build shelter, and establish systems for survival. This led to the formation of early communities where cooperation became necessary for collective well-being. However, with cooperation also came disputes, and people started claiming ownership over land and resources. The once simple existence evolved into structured societies with rules, leadership, and governance. This Buddhist view of human origins differs from creationist stories in that it does not describe an external force bringing humanity into existence. Instead, it explains how human life arose naturally over time, influenced by behavior, environment, and the law of cause and effect. This perspective encourages us to see life as a continuous process of change, where our actions not only shape our own experiences, but also influence the conditions for future generations. The formation of human society and civilization. As human life became more dependent on physical survival, people began forming communities to share resources and protect one another. The early stages of human society were simple, with small groups cooperating for food, shelter, and safety. Over time, as populations grew, the need for organization became more apparent. People started dividing responsibilities, with some focusing on farming, others on tool-making, and others on leadership. This marked the beginning of structured societies, where different roles emerged to support the well-being of the community. One of the most significant developments in human civilization was the rise of language. In the beginning, humans may have communicated through emotions, gestures, or instinctual sounds. However, as societies grew, the need for clearer communication led to the development of spoken and written language. This advancement allowed knowledge to be passed down, traditions to be preserved, and communities to coordinate their efforts more effectively. With language came shared cultural values, storytelling, and the foundation of what we now recognize as human civilization. As resources became more valuable, the concept of ownership emerged. People began claiming land, food, and possessions as their own, which led to disputes and conflicts. To maintain order, early societies created systems of governance. Leaders were chosen to mediate disputes, enforce fairness, and ensure stability. According to Buddhist texts, this leadership was not granted by divine authority, but was a natural outcome of human interaction. The first rulers were often elected based on wisdom and fairness, rather than power or force. However, as society advanced, both positive and negative developments arose. On one hand, cooperation led to agriculture, trade, and innovation, improving the quality of life. On the other hand, greed, competition, and power struggles led to social divisions. Economic disparity, class structures, and inequality became more prominent. People became more attached to material wealth, leading to increased suffering. Buddhism teaches that while social structures can bring order, they also create attachment, which can lead to further suffering. Despite these challenges, human societies also evolved morally and spiritually. As suffering became more evident, people sought ways to cultivate kindness, generosity, and wisdom. The teachings of compassion, ethical living, and mindfulness emerged as a way to balance material progress with inner peace. Buddhism encourages individuals to recognize both the benefits and limitations of civilization, understanding that true happiness does not come from material success alone, but from inner awareness and ethical living. Buddhism and science: parallels in understanding human origins. Buddhism's explanation of human origins and the universe shares intriguing similarities with modern scientific theories. While Buddhism does not rely on physical evidence like science, its teachings align with some fundamental principles of cosmology, evolution, and the nature of existence. One key similarity is the idea that the universe is not static, but follows cycles of formation and dissolution. This concept closely mirrors modern scientific theories, such as the Big Bang and Big Crunch, which suggest that the universe expands, contracts, and may repeat this process infinitely. Another striking parallel is Buddhism's view of multiple worlds and realms of existence. Long before modern science discovered the vastness of space and the possibility of multiple galaxies, Buddhist teachings described an infinite number of worlds, each undergoing its own cycle of birth and destruction. This is somewhat similar to the scientific idea of the multiverse, where multiple universes may exist simultaneously with different conditions and laws of physics. Though Buddhism focuses more on the spiritual and karmic aspects of these worlds, the idea that reality is far more complex than what we perceive aligns with modern discoveries. In terms of human development, Buddhism describes a gradual transformation of life forms based on natural conditions and behaviors. This concept aligns with evolutionary theory, which explains how life adapts over time due to environmental changes. While Buddhism does not describe genetic mutations or natural selection in the way modern biology does, it does emphasize that beings change in response to their surroundings and past action. The transition from more subtle, less material beings to fully physical human forms can be seen as a metaphor for the evolutionary process. Another deep connection between Buddhism and science lies in the understanding of cause and effect. Science explains the physical world through laws such as gravity and thermodynamics, while Buddhism teaches that all existence follows the law of causality. Every action leads to a consequence. This principle is not just applied to physical reality, but also to thoughts, behaviors, and moral choices. The idea that our past influences our present and future is a key concept in both Buddhism and modern scientific studies of psychology and human behavior. By recognizing these parallels, we can appreciate how Buddhist teachings provide a profound way of understanding the world, not through divine creation, but through patterns, cycles, and interdependence. This perspective encourages us not just to seek knowledge, but to use it wisely, focusing on actions that reduce suffering and bring about personal and collective well-being. The meaning of understanding human origins in Buddhism. In Buddhism, the purpose of exploring human origins is not merely to satisfy curiosity, but to gain wisdom that helps us live more meaningfully. While many traditions focus on where humanity came from, Buddhism shifts the focus to why we are here and how we should live. Understanding human existence through this perspective allows us to see that life is not random, but shaped by interconnected causes and conditions. Instead of viewing life as a one-time event, Buddhism teaches that our present existence is part of a continuous flow of experiences influenced by past actions. One of the most important lessons from Buddhist teachings is recognizing that human life is rare and precious. The Buddha described human existence as an exceptional opportunity, neither too pleasurable like the higher realms, where beings may become complacent, nor too painful like the lower states, where suffering dominates. As humans, we have the unique ability to reflect, learn, and grow spiritually. This means we have the responsibility to use this opportunity wisely, developing mindfulness, wisdom, and ethical living. Another key takeaway is the impermanence of life. Everything in existence, including civilizations, relationships, and even our own thoughts, is constantly changing. By understanding this, we learn not to cling too tightly to material possessions, personal status, or even our own identities. This doesn't mean we should detach from life, but rather that we should appreciate each moment while it lasts, without excessive attachment or fear of loss. The law of cause and effect also plays a central role in Buddhist thought. Our present life conditions, both challenges and blessings, are shaped by previous actions, just as our current choices will shape our future. This encourages us to act with greater awareness, knowing that every thought, word, and deed has consequences. Understanding this principle helps us take control of our lives, making choices that lead to long-term well-being rather than short-term satisfaction. Ultimately, Buddhism teaches that instead of fixating on the past or the origins of humanity, we should focus on what we do with the time we have now, how we live, how we treat others, and how we cultivate inner peace matter far more than any historical or scientific debate. By living with kindness, wisdom, and mindfulness, we create a better future, not just for ourselves, but for all beings. Conclusion: a meaningful life beyond origins. The Buddhist perspective on human origins does not seek to define a single moment of creation, but instead encourages us to understand life as part of a continuous cycle of change. Rather than focusing on where we came from, Buddhism teaches us to look at how we are living right now. Our actions, thoughts, and choices shape not only our personal journey, but also the world around us. By recognizing the impermanent nature of life and the interconnectedness of all things, we gain the wisdom to live with greater purpose and compassion. Understanding human origins through Buddhism also reminds us that life is a rare and precious opportunity. Unlike beings who experience only suffering or only pleasure, we have the ability to reflect, grow, and seek deeper meaning. This makes human existence not just a physical event, but a chance to cultivate wisdom and kindness. Instead of searching for external answers, Buddhism invites us to look within, where true understanding begins. At TT-Buddhism, our goal is to share these timeless teachings in a way that inspires mindfulness, peace, and personal transformation. If this video has given you a new perspective on life, we encourage you to continue exploring these ideas with us. What are your thoughts on the Buddhist view of human origins? We'd love to hear your insights in the comments below. If you found this content meaningful, please like, share, and subscribe to help us bring more wisdom to those seeking a deeper understanding of life. Thank you for being part of our journey, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.